driving a duck. Duck. It does what a duck does. Everything's going way underneath. This particular duck was built in Michigan by the GMC company. It was sent to Italy after the war to suck up Italian military there. Driving it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. On the road and in the water. First of all, you've got a petrol engine, 6-cylinder petrol GMC engine. You've got a 5-speed gearbox, and you have a transfer case. So you have high and low ratio. Also have driving on the road, you have your basic 4-wheel drive in the back, and then you have all-wheel drive. Front wheels operate. You really need them for coming in and out of the water, because when you're going up a ramp, your front wheels are the first thing to hit concrete or rubble, and that's going to drag you up out of the water then before your rear wheels actually hit land. The propeller is driven from the engine, so in between the gearbox and your transfer box you have what's called a marine box, so another little lever in there to transfer your drive to your propeller. So in the water you have all wheels driving and you have your propeller driving as well. The steering, for the rudder in the back, you have a cable that goes around your steering arm and operated by a series of pulleys around the very stern, and that operates the rudder at the very back. There's no power steering. It was designed in such a way that it doesn't actually need power steering, and the way you drove vehicles back then, you only steer them when they're moving. So you wouldn't be sitting there trying to move a steering wheel when it's, like a modern truck or a bus, which you can do, but back in those days you actually moved it to the steer. Driving on the road, we do have a lot of mirrors around us, which need modern traffic, but as you can see, that's an old mirror that's still on it, but it's actually quite useful if you're used to these vehicles. Really, that's all you would need. Maneuverability, the steering circle is very, very small, so you're going to have a very, very wide, actually. You're going to have a lot of problems trying to turn in small spaces, so you're going to be forward and back, but they will reach a speed of 40 to 45 miles an hour on the road. Very noisy, extremely noisy, because you don't have the insulation inside or anything else, but it's something you get used to. Best thing, of course, is driving it from the road into the water. That's the big splash, and that's when it's really, that's when all the butterflies come going. There's a difference between a tour vehicle and a military vehicle. Tour vehicle, you got the sides up on it, you got this roof, you got the, it's more, with the wind blowing, where a military one is down lower. It's got the lower effect. It's not affected by the wind as such. We were training the first of our drivers back in 1999, and there was the biggest problem with trying to get these drivers to not only drive the vehicle but also to be the tour guide as well, and they had to act like a Viking. So we actually hired in an actor from the Gaiety School of Acting to help these drivers express themselves as Vikings. And it was on one of these training routes around Dublin with the actor on board that the actor came up with the idea of, why don't we not roar at people? That's what Vikings do. And that is how the famous Viking roar, Viking Splash Tours roar came about. 2, 3!
You and the Houses of the Oireachtas play a huge role in the success.